I need to know, I need to know, yeah. Is it programming, social media, or a secret to uncover? So educating, so wise, informative and bright eyes. What's the evaluating game? Revelation is the aim.
I need to know, I need to know, I need to know. You need to know, you need to know, you need to know. We all need to know. What do you need to know? What do I need to know? What do we all need to know? Somebody send me a text that the book of Genesis chapter 37 verse 28 and the same book of Genesis 37 verse 36 says he was unable, maybe he or she was unable to decode, be able to understand who sold Joseph to who and why. So we need to know how to explain Bible. Very simple. This one, that is this chapter, deals with a textual and narrative variation within the same chapter, that is Genesis 37, about who sold Joseph and to whom he was sold to. So let's break it down carefully with context, Hebrew nuance, and harmonization using sound hermeneutics. Don't forget sound hermeneutics. Hermeneutics is just the act of Bible interpretation. So the text in question, according to the book of Genesis chapter 37 verse 28, Bible says, "Then there passed by Midianites, merchant men, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites." That is, the Midianites are passing, and they lifted Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. So what is the key point? Both places mention Midianite and Ishmaelite. The subject, that is they appears ambiguous. That is, who sold Joseph? Is it the brothers? Is it the Midianite or the Ishmaelite? Let's see the book of Genesis 37 verse 36. It says, "And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard." So what is the key point here? State clearly that the Midianites sold Joseph in Egypt to Potiphar. But the verse 28 did not mention such a thing. So let's see the apparent contradiction. I'm not saying they contradicted. There's no place the Bible contradicts each other, but they complement each other. Apparent contradiction. At first glance, you will see that verse 28 says Joseph was sold to Ishmaelite. Verse 36 says the Midianites sold him in Egypt. So who actually bought Joseph? Who sold Joseph? The Ishmaelite or the Midianite? So we are going to see the hermeneutical interpretation. So cultural, you must be able to know culturally and ethically, that is, the culturally and ethnic overlaps, Midianite and Ishmaelite. While in the ancient Near East, the terms Midianite and Ishmaelite sometimes overlaps. They use it hand in hand or were interchangeably used during those days. Why? Because both were descendants of Abraham. They are sons, they are great-grandsons of Abraham. Don't forget the Ishmaelite, descendant of Ishmael, the son of Haggai. The Midianites, they are descendants of Midians. And the Midians are the sons of Keturah. When Sarah died, Bible says Abraham married another woman called Keturah, according to the book of Genesis chapter 25, verse 1 to 2. So those tribes often intermarried, travel together, and form trading caravans. So they move together. That is, they are like brothers. So they move together. They are from the same father but different mothers. So in common usage, the Bible could refer to the same caravan as either Ishmaelite traders or Midianite merchants, depending on the emphasis. Therefore, the different roles in the same event, they have the different roles in the same event. A close reading, when you read closely, when you study, suggests a sequence of action. So the group involved Joseph's brothers. So they took action. They threw Joseph's brother threw Joseph into the pit. The Midianite traders passed and pulled Joseph out. Maybe they are the one that pulled Joseph out, or the brother, when they saw, they now pulled him out that it's better to sell him. So Ishmaelite caravan purchased Joseph from the Midianites. The Midianites were the one that took Joseph. So the Ishmaelites, they now bought Joseph from the Midianites. So the Midianites or Ishmaelites transported him to Egypt, because that is where they sold the properties to. In group, the Midianites and the Ishmaelites, they sold Joseph to Egypt. So the Midianites sold him to Potiphar in Egypt. Now, the brother pulled him out, gave him to the Midianites. The Midianites sold him to Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites sold him to Egypt. Maybe you don't understand. The brothers threw him into the pit. The Midianite traders are passing by. They pull him out. The Ishmaelite caravan purchased, when we are talking about the caravan, is that a group of people. So which they have different, as if you are going as a group, but each of you have your own business ideas. So you go in group. So that is Midianite. The Midianite pull him out. The Ishmaelite caravan, because they call them the Ishmaelite caravan. Inside the Ishmaelite caravan, there is Midianite. So the Midianite, both of them now transported him to Egypt. But the Midianite, they are the one that now sold him to Potiphar's house. Very simple. So the Midianite may have been the immediate handlers, while the Ishmaelite represented the larger caravans or ownership. Both are part of the same trade. It's when you have a shop, maybe a lot of people now come together, but it's only one person that have the shop. Just like a business venture, that both people come together to form the business. But in each department they have, so it's like an Ishmaelite. But within the Ishmaelite, we have the Midianite, because they move together in groups. So therefore, that's what happened. So tomorrow we continue. We'll be able to expatiate it very well. We see the modern translation clarifies. We are going to see the theological insight and the summary. Don't forget, the brother were the one that threw him inside the pit. The Midianites were passing and they pulled him out. Now, the Ishmaelite caravan assists as a larger group. They purchase him. So, the group that contains the Ishmaelite and the Midianite, they transported him to Egypt. And the Midianite were the one that sold him to Potiphar's house. Because when you read it very well, Bible says in the book of where we read, Genesis 37:28 says, then there passed by Midianites, merchant men, because they are part of the Ishmaelites. So they move in group. So they are passing by and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit. We are not told, maybe it is the brother, but we knew that the brother was the one that threw him there, and then we are very sure that the brother will pull him out and sold him to the Midianites. So the Midianites cannot do anything. They have to go back to the camp and show him to the larger caravan, which is the Ishmaelite caravan. But when they took him to the Egypt, it was the Midianite that sold him. So tomorrow we continue by the special grace of God in part 2 for the elaboration. God bless you. God be with you. Kindly help us to share and put your question down. Shalom.